Welcome everybody to Sidney High School as we're getting ready for the varsity contest between the number 9 in the AP poll ranked Vandalia Butler Aviators and the number 10 ranked Sidney Yellow Jackets. A little bit of a special guest here at the beginning. He's always up here. We thought we'd get him on film here a little bit. I guess not on film, I guess on microphone. Brian Billing from the Sidney Daily News. How you doing, Brian?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having me on, Greg.
Absolutely. Now, you've done this before, right?
I have, yeah.
What did you used to do some radio, is that correct?
Yes, on Top Billing Sports, website I had for about 5 years. Did a lot down towards the Springfield way.
Great, and then you came up toward the Sidney way. How have you enjoyed your time here? What has it been now, 2 years?
Yes, yeah, I started in August of 2017, and I've loved it. Loved every second of it. You know, I was really excited when I got here because Shelby County Athletic League basketball has such a great reputation, and I love basketball. And,
sure.
And coming here with Sidney being in the midst of a revival here, the success you guys have had with your football program these last several years, and the basketball having its most successful run in history, it's been a lot of fun to cover.
Absolutely, and we've enjoyed you covering it. Give me a typical, here in the winter, give me a typical week schedule. How many times are you out and about at events typically?
I go out about 4 or 5 times a week, so you're looking normally Tuesday, some Wednesdays, Thursday, Friday, and some Saturdays I go to a girls' game in the afternoon and a boys' game in the evening. So about 4 or 5 games a week, and a lot of time spent on roundups and box scores, standings, and all the other stuff I put in the paper.
Absolutely, and I know that you guys had an article about the neatest things that happened in 2018. Sports-wise, but just from your personal experience being in the Sidney realm, let's just talk about the Sidney Yellow Jackets. What are some of the neatest things that you've been able to follow in your time as sports editor? Is it sports editor?
Yes, sports editor.
Title?
Yes.
That's the Sidney Daily News. What are some of the neatest things you've seen in terms of Sidney athletics?
Well, I mean, what we've got going on right here, these Butler games have been great. Both of the last 2 Butler games, both in Vandalia, I mean, down to the wire, instant classics. They've been a lot of fun to cover. Andre and all his dunks here, both this year and last year. And you know, last year's basketball season was really, really fun to develop and watch and cover from beginning to end because it was a bit of a slow start for Sidney, but they really picked up momentum towards the end of the year, and they made a great tournament run. And that sectional final, that's one of the big things I'm always going to remember covering against Springfield. You know, back and forth game throughout. Fortunately for Sidney, they came up a little short at the end, but an instant classic there. And you know, for you guys, football, and you being the offensive coordinator, you've really put on the show. Having Bowser here these last few years, I'm always going to remember that run last year.
They look good, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And you know, I really enjoyed this past year too. It was good to see you guys in you know, a bit of a brilliant year. You kept the level of play up, 5-5 year. Had some really fun moments and some really fun games. That Greenville game at the end of the year was a really fun one to watch.
That was a good punctuation mark on the season. You're right. Just so many great things going on athletically here at Sidney. Let's talk about the tournament draw. So you talked about the Springfield game last year. Of course, the Yellow Jackets hoping for a rematch this year.
Yes.
Had 2 tough games before that, but were you surprised by anything at the tournament draw a little bit?
I was a bit surprised. You know, I'd heard some talk before then about how coaches were thinking of seeding. I knew there was a possibility that Springfield, Centerville, maybe even Wayne, with how they were playing of late, was going to be up there, and it turned out that way. But I think Coach Willoughby was really happy talking to him about that seed that Sidney ended up getting, and a good path there, and it's a really good chance for Sidney to be able to get some redemption first against Fairborn. If Fairborn is able to beat Springboro in that other game, that'll be who they play in the second round, and that won't be a given for Fairborn at all because Springboro beat them in regular season. And a rematch with Springfield would be, I'm sure, another fun game. And right from the start, though, like you said, it's going to be a tough road in that first round game against Carroll, led by Tim Cogan, state championship coach. I'm sure he's already drawing up stuff.
Absolutely. At halftime of the varsity game, we're actually going to have Eric Sparries down there. He's going to join us at halftime, the commissioner of the current Greater Western Ohio Conference, but also going to be the commissioner of the new Miami Valley League.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that, and what are you kind of looking forward to, or I guess not looking forward to with the formation of the new league? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a good fit for the teams in terms of how the scheduling is going to work out there. It's going to provide a lot of built-in games, so that'll be easy. What will be the big thing, and I'm sure you guys are already looking at this for football, is your 1 non-conference game a year is going to be important. Basketball teams, those 4 non-conference games are going to be important, so it'll be a big question every year of who gets in these non-conference games, and you know, scheduling them, a team that's you can beat, but it's also going to be successful too. So
absolutely, because in the football realm, we obviously have to worry about computer points.
Yes.
In the basketball realm, they just have to worry about preparation and playing.
Yes.
Against some real competitive teams. Last question, Brian, before we let you go. Packed house, what a neat atmosphere.
Yes.
You saw the first game, obviously, when we went down to Vandalia, and you saw the ones last year. What are your thoughts on some keys for the Jackets tonight as they take on the Aviators?
Well, I think, they've been playing, I think, as best they have all year in these last two games. Really like the fire that they played with against both Lehman and Piqua. And I think coming out with that intensity and really coming out from the start will be good. And, I think the big thing that showed last time is they can't have any lulls. I mean, that one lull they had in the second half in that first game really almost did them in. Luckily for Sidney, they were able to really come back with fire there in those last 2.5 minutes. Yeah. And come back, but you don't want to get put in that situation again where you're down 11 points with 2.5 to go.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, we look forward to reading your story later tonight.
That sounds good. Thanks for having me on, Greg.
Absolutely. Brian Billing from the Sidney Daily News. We're going to pause. We're going to step away here for about a minute, and then we'll get back. We'll talk about the starters, a couple stats, as we get ready for the big game of the year, Vandalia versus Sidney. Thanks for joining us. All right, welcome back. Thanks to Brian Billing for joining us. Sparksy, are you ready, man?
Yes, I am. I'm pumped.
All right. Don't get too pumped, all right?
All right.
All right. Let's look over the starting lineups. Looks like the Yellow Jackets, I know it's senior night, but Coach Willoughby talked about on our coaches show how it's difficult from several perspectives, but especially when you have 6. I mean, somebody's got to sit out. But he's elected to just go with his normal starting lineup. We're going to go with number 2, Ratez Roberts, the 6'3 senior forward, comes in averaging 10.5 points a game, 9.5 rebounds, and a G-Walk leading 4.5 blocks per contest. Also number 5, Darren Taborn, the 6'1 junior guard, the only junior in the starting lineup, averaging 7.7 points per contest, to go along with 3.8 rebounds. Keith Lee, another senior, a 6'1 senior guard, number 11, will start for the Jackets, averaging 4.6 points per contest, 2.8 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game. Josiah Hudgens, a 6' senior guard, the 3rd senior starting for the Yellow Jackets, is averaging 7.8 points per contest and 2.7 rebounds per game. And then Andre Gordon, the 4th senior, the all-time leading scorer for the Yellow Jackets, headed to Virginia Tech. He is a 6'2 senior guard, averaging 23 points, which is good enough for 4th in the G-Walk, 5.2 rebounds, 5.9 assists, which currently is 2nd in the G-Walk, 2.7 steals, and about a half a block a game. So once again for the Jackets, number 2, Roberts, number 5, Taborn, number 11, Lee, number 20, Gordon, number 23, Josiah Hudgens. For Vandalia Butler, they come in with a record of 18-2 and 11-2 in the Greater Western Ohio North Conference. They're going to be led by point guard, number 3, Michael Cryle. He's a 6'1 senior guard, averaging 15 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per contest. Number 4, Braden Norman, a 6'1 senior guard, averaging 10.5 points per contest and 3.5 rebounds. Also, number 12, Bryant Johnson, a 6'6 senior center, averaging 8.4 points per game, 4.2 rebounds, and 2.2 assists. Number 14, Ryan Wirtz, a 6' senior guard, averaging 7.4 points per game and 4.1 rebounds per contest. And number 32, Quentin Glover, the 6'4 senior in the middle, is averaging 5.8 points per game and 4 rebounds per contest. That's 9 seniors and 1 junior starting in this game. Very indicative of their position in the standings as well. We'll keep it right here for the national anthem, but we'll be quiet as Mr. Bickle hits play on the national anthem. As you can see, packed house here at the Hive. Two great student sections. They're turning them away at the door, Sparksy.
Yes, they are.
Sparks is going to run camera and do color, so if the camera ends up pointed like toward the hallway or something, we know what happened. He got a little too excited. So just to kind of set the table, I think we all know the importance of the game, but the winner of this game guarantees themselves at least a share of the GWalk North title. And then, of course, each team with one game remaining, they could win that outright, and the loser would be at the mercy of getting lucky by the other team losing. So an incredibly important ball game. My apologies on the starting lineup. It looks like Michael Cryle is actually not starting. We'll get those to you as they go out on the floor. We'll let you listen to the last time that these seniors will be introduced at Sidney High School. All right, the stage is set. Butler's going to send out number 4, Norman, number 12, Johnson, number 14, Wertz, number 32, Glover, and also number 32, Tyler Montague, the 6-foot sophomore. The normal starter and leading scorer, Michael Cryle, is not starting the game. A juiced atmosphere, a packed house. The Yellow Jackets and the Aviators. Johnson and Roberts will jump center. Johnson wins the tip, and Butler will control. Montague has the ball. Guarded by Josiah Hutchins. He's going to pass it on the right side to Braden Norman. 6'1" senior guard is going to reverse the ball to Johnson. He has it high on the left, gives it to Glover between the circles. Glover guarded by Keith Lee. Tough matchup there for the Jackets. Glover goes inside to a cutting Wertz. He lays it up and in. Butler draws first blood as they lead 2-0. Keith Lee has the ball for the Jackets. Looks like Butler's going to start with Bryant Johnson on Andre Gordon. He denies him the ball. Gordon, though, gets inside the lane. He's trapped by 3 defenders. We're going to get a held ball. That held ball is going to give the ball to the Jackets underneath their own basket. 7:21 to go. Butler ahead 2-0. Gordon looking to inbound, gives it to Keith Lee, swung into the corner to Josiah Hutchins, thinks about a 3, instead gives it to Lee. Butler will stay in their 2-3 zone that they used in the underneath out of bounds. Andre Gordon, cross-court pass to Josiah Hutchins. 3 ball, Darren Taborn, left wing, no good. Rebounded by Josiah Hutchins. Hutchins kicks it out to Lee. Lee will give it to Darren Taborn. And Andre Gordon will reset. Andre Gordon with the crossover, gets into the lane, hangs. Free throws forthcoming for Andre Gordon as he is fouled.
Good way to get some contact in there.
The foul on Vandalia Butler is there first. Andre Gordon's going to go to the line where he is a 76% free throw shooter, shot 96 free throws on the year. Gordon's first free throw is no good.
It is so loud in here I can't even hear myself think.
Well, it's good that you're thinking. Gordon's second free throw is also no good. Rebound comes down to Bryant Johnson for Butler, and he'll hand it off to Montague, who will bring it across half court. Guarded by Josiah Hutchins. He'll start the offense by giving it to Norman between the circles. Gives it up top to Wirtz. Wirtz working on Andre Gordon. Switched off to on Keith Lee. We'll give it back to Montague. Butler, a very patient team. Ball swung to Wirtz. He goes inside to Glover. Glover, drop step to the baseline, up and in. Quentin Glover gives Vandalia Butler an early 4-0 lead. Nice pass inside. As Glover got nice position, he has 2 points, and the Jackets trail by 4. Andre Gordon passes it to Darren Taborn. Taborn gets into the lane. Pass just a little too hot off the hands of Rottez Roberts, and they'll turn it over to the Aviators. Jackets will be all right, Sparks? You just got to settle down?
All right, just settle down.
All righty. Montague will inbound. He's looking. We'll get it into Norman. Norman will give it back to Montague. Tyler Montague, the 6-foot sophomore guard, averaging 6 points a game and nearly 2 rebounds. Gives the ball between the circles to Norman. Norman is D'd up by Darren Taborn, gives it to Wirtz. Ryan Wirtz, the 6-foot senior guard, working on Andre Gordon, gives it back to Montague near half court. Montague swings it on the left side to Wirtz. Wirtz working on Andre Gordon. He's cut off by Gordon, gives it back to Montague. As Butler continues to be patient, 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Butler ahead 4-0. Quentin Glover has it, thinks about driving or maybe even a 3-ball. Instead, he elects to pass it on the right side to Bryant Johnson. Johnson, guarded by Rottez Roberts, is going to get a ball screen by Montague. Give it back to Montague in the corner. Montague goes inside to Glover. He gets it to Johnson. Johnson to the hole, layup, no good. Gets his own rebound, up and in. That makes it 6-0. 3 layups for the Butler Aviators, and the Jackets face an early deficit, 6-0. Gordon has it. He crosses over. Johnson gets to the hole. Ball stripped by Bryant Johnson into the hands of Wirtz. Here comes Butler quickly at the floor. Wirtz all the way to the hole. It's going to be fouled by Taborn. Things not going the Yellow Jackets' way here in the early going. That foul on Darren Taborn is his first. Ryan Wirtz is going to go to the line. He is a 71% free throw shooter, the second best free throw shooter on Butler's roster, and he rattles the first one in. Wirtz comes in averaging 7.5 points a game. And he has 4 as he cans both free throws. Makes the score 8-0. Andre Gordon, guarded by Bryant Johnson. A little bit of a surprise matchup there, but makes sense with Glover on Roberts. Ball swung into the corner to Keith Lee. Lee working on Norman. Ball's tipped into the hands of Rottez Roberts. Jackets retain possession. Jackets a little bit out of sorts here in the early going. Andre Gordon trapped near half court. Now Gordon working on Johnson, probing, looking to find a driving lane. Step back, thinks about a 3. Instead, Gordon is going to give it to Josiah Hudgens. Back to Gordon between the circles. 4:40 to go in the first quarter. Jackets looking for their first bucket. There's going to be a foul on Bryant Johnson. The foul on Johnson is his first, Butler's second. Jackets inbound on the side, still looking for their first bucket. Good defense by Vandalia so far, right, Sparksy?
Yeah, very good defense.
Gordon gets around Johnson, pull up in the lane, ends up being a pass to Taborn. His drop step shot is no good, rebounded, cleaned up by Montague. Montague quickly across half court, swings on the right side. There's a 3-ball by Wirtz, no good. Rebound down to Montague. Montague cross court pass to Norman. He'll fire a 3-ball from deep on the left, got it. We're going to get a timeout by the Jackets, an 11-0 lead here by Vandalia as they storm out of the gates and lead by double figures. We'll be back in just a moment. Back at Sidney. Well, Sparksy, that's not the start we wanted, was it?
No, it's not.
It's okay. It's a long game.
Long game.
4:21. Yellow Jackets have been ahead by teams by this much, and of course those teams have clawed back in it. So hopefully the Yellow Jackets can do the same. Andre Gordon will start this possession as he does most possessions, running the point for the Yellow Jackets. Gordon comes off a ball screen from Roberts, is going to reverse the ball to Lee. He gives it to Taborn. We're going to get a foul on Vandalia Butler. That foul on Butler is on number 14, Wirtz. That's his first. Butler's third. 4:06 to go in the first quarter. Jackets still looking for that first point. Andre Gordon has it deep in the left corner, guarded by Braden Norman. Gordon kicks it to Taborn, back to Hudgens, swings it to Gordon, 3-ball, left wing, no good, in and out, rebound cleaned up by Quentin Glover. Glover hands it off to Montague, who's going to bring it across half court for Butler. He'll work on Josiah Hudgens. Nearly halfway through the first quarter, 11-0, Butler in control. Montague passes on the right side to Johnson. He goes inside to Glover. Glover tries to drop step, but Rotez Roberts strips it off of Glover's leg, out of bounds. Nice play by Rotez Roberts.
Very nice play. Way to get in there.
Substitution, number 12, Lathan Jones is going to check in. He'll replace Keith Lee as the Jackets look to get a little more size in there. They'll play Jones and Roberts together. Darren Taborn going to run the point, trying to get Andre Gordon off the ball a little bit. Taborn working on Wirtz. We'll pass it on the left side to Hudgens. Hudgens gets a ball screen from Roberts, reverses it to Taborn, who gives it to Gordon. Andre Gordon working on Johnson. Lathan Jones slips the screen. He'll go up for a shot. It's no good. We're going to get a foul on Vandalia Butler once again. That foul on Butler is their fourth, and it is Glover's second, so an important foul for the Yellow Jackets. Lathan Jones will be at the line for the Jackets. Lathan Jones, the 6'3" junior forward, eyes the first free throw. It is no good. We're going to get substitutions. Dom Durr's going to check in for the Jackets, replacing Josiah Hudgens, and number 5, Cooper Justice, the 6'2" junior guard, will check in for Glover, who sits down with 2 fouls. Lathan Jones looking to get the Jackets on the board. Jones is a 42% free throw shooter on the year. Eyes the second free throw, misses that one as well. The Jackets remain scoreless. Ryan Wirtz has the ball as he looks to cross half court and start the offense for Butler. Of course, not a great team to get behind, Sparksy.
No, it's not.
Such a great ball handling team. There's going to be a foul on Lathan Jones as we're calling a little tight here on both ends. Lathan Jones will pick up his first foul. That'll be the Yellow Jackets' second. 3:09 to go in the first quarter. Butler inbounding on the side, leading by 11. Ball goes into the backcourt to Montague. He's going to work on Dom Durr. Montague crosses half court. The reverse course on Durr, who's in for some defensive pressure. Wirtz pull up in the lane, rattles it home. Ryan Wirtz looking really good here in the early going. He has 6. That pushes the lead to 13-0. Dom Durr pulls up from 15 feet. No good off the iron. Rebounded by Andre Gordon. He can't quite corral it. It's going to go over to Butler. Jackets a little frustrated as they trail early on, 13-0. Cooper Justice looking to inbound. He'll give it in to Norman. Norman working on Darren Taborn. Goes behind the back. Taborn with some nice defense. Good pressure in the backcourt. Norman handles it though. Give it to Wirtz. He's going to work on Lathan Jones. Wirtz with 6 points to lead all scorers here in the early going, and we're going to get another foul on Lathan Jones. That foul on Lathan is going to be his second. It's going to probably prompt him to come out of the game. Substitutions, Trey Wirtz is going to check in for the Yellow Jackets. He'll replace Taborn, and Jones will sit down as Keith Lee checks back in. So the reset for the Jackets, Lee, Durr, Gordon, Roberts, and Wirtz in the game. For the Jackets, that's Wirtz with an N, and for Butler with the ball right now, that's Wirtz without an N. He pulls up. His shot's no good, but the rebound by Bryant Johnson, his putback's no good. Ball swung around to Montague, 3-ball, no good off the back of the iron. Dom Durr skies high to get the rebound, and the Jackets finally get a defensive rebound. Rotez Roberts has the ball near the volleyball line, swings it on the right side to Trey Wirtz. Ryan Wirtz does a nice job of closing out. There's a turnover by Keith Lee into the hands of Cooper Justice. His bounce pass, a beautiful bounce pass to Braden Norman. And we're going to get another timeout by the Jackets. 30-second timeout. Jackets trail by 15. We'll be back in just a second. Well, Sparksy, you got a 15-point play?
No.
How about a 2-point play? What do you think the Jackets need to do to get some offense going here?
Well, they've been trying everything. Obviously, just Butler defense is absolutely outstanding. I just think they need to be really, really aggressive these next few sessions.
I agree with you. Jackets, see if we can get after it here a little bit. At least get some shots off. See if we can get into a little bit of a rhythm. Dom Durr has it. He'll trigger the offense, give it to Keith Lee on the right wing. Goes inside to Rotez Roberts. Roberts back to Lee. He'll fire a 3-ball. Right point. No good, in and out. Rebounded by Trey Wernz. His putback is no good, short. Rebound taken away by Vandalia Butler and Wernz. We're going to get a jump ball situation. Ball goes over to the Aviators. So the Jackets come up empty again. Still trailing 15-0. 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Jackets scoreless so far. Ryan Wirtz, the 6-foot senior guard, off to a great start for Butler. In the absence of Michael Kreil, Cooper Justice has it. He gives it to Montague, who's done a nice job earning the start tonight. There's a kick out. 3-ball by Norman on the left wing. No good, in and out. Rebounded by Dom Durr. Durr quickly up the floor for the Jackets. He'll pull it out, give it to Wernz. Ball's going to be tipped out of bounds. Will remain with the Jackets. Jackets looking to get out in the open floor, hopefully trying to get something going before Butler can get their defense set up, but they were unable to do it. Nice job by Butler getting back in transition. Gordon inbounding on the side, gives it to Keith Lee, gets a handoff from Lee. Gordon now drives down the lane, gets to the hole. His layup is no good, but he's fouled. That'll be the 15th foul on Butler. That's something to watch, hopefully, as the Jackets look to get back in this ball game. It's going to be the second on Ryan Wirtz, who has 6 points. And Andre Gordon's going to go to the line. Gordon has been to the line once. He's 0 for 2, but a 71% free throw shooter. Sorry, 76% free throw shooter on the year. These will be free throws 99 and 100 for him. And he cans the first. And everybody exhales.
Yeah.
For a moment, anyway. Number 2, Matt Beverly's going to check in. He's going to replace Wirtz, who sits down with 2 fouls for Butler. And even 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Jackets still trailing by 14.
There we go.
But Gordon hammers 2 free throws home, and that makes it a 13-point game as the Jackets look to employ a little bit of full court pressure here. Braden Norman has it. He's working on Andre Gordon. Norman will get it across half court and pass it on the left side to Cooper Justice. Justice working on Trey Wernz. He's going to hold the ball as Butler is going to be patient. Possibly looking for the last shot of the quarter. Good defense by Wirtz. The ball goes to Beverly. He'll kick it out to Bryant Johnson. And Johnson will hold it near half court as Roberts comes out and gets within 5 feet to start the count. Johnson dribbling near the corner. He'll hand it off to Cooper Justice. 6'2" junior guard is going to come back between the circles now and maybe set up a play. Justice working on Trey Wernz. Justice drives left, pulls up 15 feet. His shot's no good off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Dom Durr. Durr quickly up the floor to Roberts. Roberts gets all the way to the hole, and he's going to be fouled. Good job there by the Jackets. Dom Durr providing some nice energy off the bench. Another foul on Butler. That is their 16th foul. So in the second quarter, the Jackets are going to have the opportunity to shoot some free throws if Butler continues to foul. Rotez Roberts at the line, has not scored. Misses the first free throw. Roberts comes in averaging 10.5 points and 9.5 rebounds a contest. Only a 51% free throw shooter though. Looking for his first points of the game. No good, in and out. And that's going to end the first quarter. Yellow Jackets with a tough first quarter. They fall behind by 13. They trail 15-2. We'll be back for the second quarter in just a moment. Back here at Sidney High School where the Jackets trail by 13. Win the quarter, right, Sparksy?
Yeah, win the quarter.
Trail by 13, try to get closer by halftime and then go from there. Jackets will send out Lee, Gordon, Roberts, Taborn, and Hudgens, their starters. Andre Gordon gets a ball screen from Keith Lee. Hesitation by Gordon. Nice pass inside to Roberts. His first shot is blocked. We're going to get a jump ball on that first shot. Ball's going to go over to Vandalia Butler. As Butler has on the floor, checking in for the first time, number 11, Alex Plummer. He'll replace Beverly. He's joined by Norman, Johnson, Montague, and Cooper Justice. Justice has the ball working on Gordon. He'll give it to Montague. Montague working on Josiah Hudgens, crosses half court. Butler, of course, very good at shortening these type of games when playing with a lead. Not an easy team to come back on, so the Jackets hope to get a little bit closer as this first half goes on. There's a charge. Nice job by Keith Lee to step in front of Alex Plummer. It is the 17th foul, but it is a player control foul, so no free throws forthcoming for the Jackets.
But it is big still.
Absolutely. Any kind of stop against a good offensive team like this is a big stop. Andre Gordon hasn't got many shots off yet as he looks to get going. Gets a ball screen from Rontez Roberts. He knifes through about 3 defenders.
There we go.
This is the shot that Keith Lee with the putback off of the offensive rebound. And that makes it 15-4 in favor of Vandalia Butler. Montague has it as he's run the point guard for most of this game. Guarded by Hudgens. 23 on 23. There's a pass by Johnson stolen by Darren Taborn. Taborn gets control of it over to Andre Gordon. Gordon across half court working on the athletic Bryant Johnson. Is stripped. Gets his own rebound. His shot is no good. Keith Lee fighting hard for the rebound. Is going to be able to come up with it in the form of out of bounds. And the Jackets will keep it. Great hustle by Keith Lee.
Yeah, very nice hustle.
Jackets feel like they're picking up the tempo here a little bit.
Exactly what we need.
Of course, trailed. Was it 15-0?
Yeah, 15-0.
All right, you remember that for me as the game goes on. Beverly's going to check in. He's the 6'3" junior forward. He's back in for Plummer. There's a nice inbound pass by Rontez Roberts.
There we go.
Back to Andre Gordon.
Beautiful pass.
Good play by Roberts. Good finish by Gordon. And the Jackets starting to calm down a little bit. We'll see if they can continue to get stops.
There
There's
we
a
go.
steal by Taborn. Taborn gets it to Gordon. Gordon to Taborn to the hole. Blocked. Rebound by Roberts. His stick back's good, and that should count. That should count. That was hit off the backboard. We'll see. You can't miss that. We can show them up here. They're talking. Usually when there's this kind of ruckus, they're probably like, did we miss something there?
We got replay. All right, there we go.
Now we're going to count the basket, and rightfully so, I believe. That's not me trying to be a homer. Rontez Roberts now with 2 points. I'm sorry, 3 points. Roberts' free throw.
There we go.
Good. And the Jackets pull within 6. 15-19. The Jackets continue to creep back in. Now Roberts has 3 points. Montague working on Josiah Hudgens is going to pull back near half court. Johnson has it. As the Yellow Jacket crowd rising to their feet. We're going to get a moving screen by Butler. The foul is on number 2. Another player control foul, so no free throws for the Jackets, but they get the ball back. The foul is on Beverly, his second. As the Jackets have seized momentum here in the second quarter and look to continue a little bit of that. Gordon, hounded in the backcourt by Johnson, gets all the way to the hole. Nice dish off to Roberts.
There we go!
In. Nice play by Roberts. Beautiful play by Andre Gordon. And we've got ourselves a 15-11 ball game. The Jackets come storming back on an 11-0 run of their own. And there's going to be a foul on Andre Gordon. Gordon's first foul, the 4th on the Yellow Jackets. Substitutions, number 32 Glover and number 14 Works will check back in, replacing Beverly and Montague. This is a little more what we expected, right?
Yes, this is a lot more than expected.
Kind of odd by both teams to give up 15-0 runs and now 11-0 run. Jackets look to expand on that. Steal by Roberts. He gets to the hole, blocked by Brian Johnson, out of bounds. Johnson averaging about a block and a half a ball game.
Yeah.
Boy, he's been everywhere.
He has been everywhere. But let's not forget about what Rotez just did right there.
Of course, the fantastic receiver, I believe, is going to the University of Cincinnati next year, has signed with them. There's a substitution, number 23, Tyler Montague, checking in. He replaces Cooper Justice. Inbounds pass goes out near half court to Keith Lee. He gives it to Darren Taborn. Taborn, nice down the lane. No good. Rebound by Roberts. Puts it back up. Blocked by Johnson. Ball's going to go out of bounds off of Taborn and over to the Aviators. 5:24 to go. Hard to believe that at the start of this quarter, the Jackets trailed by 13. Now only they trail by 4.
15. Was it 15 or was it?
I think it was 15-2 at the quarter. Montague, step back 3 from the right point. In and out, no good. Rebound tipped by Keith Lee into the hands of Darren Taborn. Taborn hands it off to Gordon. He'll bring it across half court for the Jackets. Gordon guarded by Johnson, as he has been the entire game, gets a ball screen from Keith Lee. Now Gordon being trapped out near half court. Ball's tipped out of its hands. He gets it back.
There we go!
Oh, lays it up and in. Andre Gordon with 6. The Yellow Jackets pull within 2. Nice play by Andre Gordon. Heads up play after the ball's tipped out of his hands out of the trap. Tyler Montague has the ball, but the Jackets have the momentum. Quentin Glover, backdoor cut to Norman. He's going to be fouled on the floor. The foul is going to go against number 2, Rotez Roberts. That'll be Rotez's first. The Yellow Jackets' 5th. 15-13. Montague throws it in, out in front to Braden Norman. He gives it to Quentin Glover. Glover drives right, kicks to Johnson, but tipped by Rotez Roberts and stolen by Roberts. Great defensive play by Roberts, something we've become accustomed to. Andre Gordon working on Johnson. He'll kick it out to Roberts. 3-ball, top of the key. And have the lead.
That's a
16-15. 16-0 run for the Jackets to answer the 15-0 run to start the game by Butler. 4 minutes to go. Near steal by Andre Gordon. Norman gets it back. He drives down the right side, lays it up. By Keith Lee. Lee quickly up the floor to Gordon. Gordon drives down the lane. He's going to be blocked, and they'll go to the line for 2 shots. Fouls on number 23, Montague, his first, the team 10th, so that's 2 free throws for Gordon. Andre Gordon stepping to the line. He has 6 points and 2 assists on the ball game so far. The 76% free throw shooter is 2 of 4 on the ball game. Makes the first.
Oh, yeah.
That makes the score 17-15 and extends the run to 17-15. I'm sorry, 17-0.
17-0.
I'm too excited. Gordon's second free throw is up and in.
I'm
Gordon.
so excited, yes.
Gordon now with 8. You just keep that camera on the game.
Yeah, I'm a commentator, not a cameraman.
Montague has the ball working on Josiah Hudgens. He's going to cross half court. He'll hand it off to Norman. Noticeably absent is Michael Kryle for Butler so far. There's a steal from behind by Andre Gordon. Recovered by Darren Taborn, but it's tipped from behind. Ends up in the hands of Brian Johnson. Here comes Ryan Wirtz. He gives it to Glover, knifing to the hole. Lay it up and in, and he's fouled. That'll make the score 18-17. The foul's going to be on Darren Taborn. Close call. But if I'm going to be honest, the call probably a good call. Got there a little late, I thought, but I'm not real sure. I would try to show the replay, but I don't want to screw things up. Don Bear's going to check in for Taborn. He's going to sit down with 2 fouls. Durr, of course, when it was 15-0, did a really nice job of providing some energy for the Jackets.
Yes, he did.
Glover to the line for an and-1 opportunity. He's a 72% free throw shooter. Misses the free throw. Rebound comes down to Keith Lee. Keith Lee gives it into the left corner to Dom Durr. Durr working on Braden Norman. Will give it between the circles to Josiah Hudgens. Hudgens drives down the right side. Floater. Up and in.
All the way, floater.
Hudgens with his first 2 points. 20-17 is the score. As Wirtz is going to work on Gordon. 3 minutes, hard to believe, still 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Yellow Jackets have scored 18 so far against a great defensive team. But the Jackets have done a lot of that, turning some of their own defense into offense. Done a lot better job of getting their hands on some balls and getting some rebounds this quarter. Montague with a hesitation move on Hudgens, lays it up and in. Beautiful move by Tyler Montague. He's played well in Kryle's absence. Montague with his first 2 points. There's a pullback three by Gordon. No good. Rebound to Josiah Hudgens. Hudgens will give it back to Gordon. Spin move in the lane. Gets to the hole. Stripped into the hands of Brian Johnson. But it's stolen by Ratez Roberts. Jackets will reset as Coach Willoughby asks them to calm things down, but the Jackets are going to go to the line. If that's on Glover, that's his third.
Big foul.
It is on Glover. Big foul. Quentin Glover picks up his third. He's a presence inside. Ratez Roberts, the 51% free throw shooter, 1 of 2 on the ball game, heads to the line. Roberts on the game so far has 8 points to go along with 2 boards. Make that 9 points as Roberts cans the first free throw. Trey Wirtz going to check in for Andre Gordon for a short breather. Number 5, Cooper Justice, will check in for Glover, who sits down with those 3 fouls. Roberts eyes the second free throw. Up and in.
That's money.
Roberts, the first player in double figures. He has 10. The Jackets lead 22-19. Josiah Hudgens, as he has most of the game, applying pressure to Tyler Montague. He passes it into the right baseline to Johnson. Johnson kicks it. 3-ball left side by Norman. No good off the front of the iron. Rebound fought for by Roberts, and Johnson ends up in the hands of Keith Lee. Keith Lee to Durr. 3-ball left side by Hudgens is no good. Long rebound on the backside to Ryan Wirtz. Here comes Wirtz quickly up the floor, working on Durr. He stops, kicks. Justice, 3-ball from the left point. No good, in and out. Rebounded by Keith Lee again. Keith Lee doing a nice job of rebounding the basketball here in the early going as he has 6 to go along with 2 points. Done a nice job on the boards for the Jackets, something that they've definitely looked for.
Yeah, like you said, need those boards.
Lee, without Gordon on the floor right now, pulls up 3-ball right side, in and out, no good. Rebound cleaned up by Montague from Butler. 1.5 to go in the first half. Montague, hesitation dribble on Hudgens, recovers the tip. 3-ball blocked by Wirtz into the hands of Hudgens. Nice block by Trey Wirtz. Good defense by the Jackets as they still have the ball, leading by 3. Durr, stop and go move to the hole. His layup is no good. Rebounded on the backside by Norman. He saves it into Justice. Justice will work on Dom Durr. They'll pass it on the right side to Norman. Quickly up the floor. Euro step around Roberts, up and in. Braden Norman has 7 points now. And Butler pulls within 1, 22-21. Just under a minute to go. Andre Gordon waiting at the score table. The Jackets have done a nice job while he's been on the bench. Warrens has it. He's working on Cooper Justice. He'll give it to Keith Lee on the cross-court pass. Jackets holding here for the last shot, it appears, or at least for a really good one. Dom Durr's going to work on Montague. He shakes him and gives it to Ratez Roberts. Roberts will pull in, working on Johnson. Gets all the way to the hole. Ratez stops, no good. Rebound on the backside, saved by Wirtz. Off of Butler, out of bounds. That'll get Gordon into the game. 21 seconds remaining.
By
Trey Wirtz with a great block on one end, a great save right there. That's what the Jackets need, along with Keith Lee's rebounding, some scoring from Ratez Roberts. Help the Jackets get back in this thing. Alex Plummer checks in. He'll replace number 14 Wirtz, who sits down with 2 fouls here toward the end of the half. Also, Beverly's going to check in for Montague. Beverly has 2 fouls, but Butler's coach does not want to take the chance of him getting a third. Montague. Gordon working on Johnson. He will hold for the last shot here. Andre Gordon with 8 points. Been guarded by 2 or 3 guys most of the game. There's a steal by Butler into the hands of Norman. Norman gets it across half court. 4 seconds to go. Spin. Ball ends up in the hands of Beverly. Going to be rebounded. Held ball situation. We're going to let the clock expire, hopefully. Coach Willoughby's walking quickly to the door because he doesn't want that jump ball to be called because the ball would go to the Jackets. Willoughby says, let's get out of here. And it looks like that will be the end of the first half. 22-21 is your halftime score. Usually during halftime, we turn down the volume, but instead we're actually going to keep it here as Eric Spar, you'll see him walk across your camera here in just a second, is going to come on up. Sparksy, go ahead and keep it on that 6th grade game, and we'll talk to Mr. Spar when he gets up here. Just looking at a couple of key players for the Jackets. Rotez Roberts, 10 points and 2 rebounds, lead the Jackets in scoring. Andre Gordon has 8 points to go along with 2 assists for the Jackets. Somebody that I thought played a really nice first half, Sparksy, Keith Lee. Kind of unsung a lot of times, but 6 rebounds and a lot of really good energy for the Jackets. Did a really nice job. And then, of course, several contributions from some other folks as well. We're going to pause for just a second as we get Mr. Spar mic'd up, and then we will be right back with that interview. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with the commissioner of the Greater Western Ohio Conference and soon-to-be commissioner of the newly formed MVL as well, Mr. Eric Spar. How you doing, Mr. Spar?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And yourself?
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm doing pretty well. I wasn't doing very well there for a while. How about that? 15-0 run by Butler to start the game, and then a 17-0 run to respond by the Jackets. What were your thoughts on that first half?
Well, when I saw the first period there, I was like, wow, that 15-0, I was kind of surprised, and I thought it was actually 18. I thought they came back and had an 18, but maybe it was 17. But I've been to a lot of basketball games, haven't seen a lot where you see those types of runs. But at the end, it looks like they settled in a little bit and played a little bit more up and down basketball, a little bit flow of the game. So it's been an exciting night so far, and the crowd's obviously really into this game tonight.
It's a neat atmosphere.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful. It's
what Tuesday night.
It's what high school athletics are all about.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of that, you are the current commissioner of the Greater Western Ohio Conference. For people like me who kind of know what you do, can you explain just maybe 3 or 4 things that you do as commissioner that you deal with?
Yeah, as the commissioner, obviously you oversee the executive board and running the meetings and writing the bylaws and working with all the member schools, doing all the scheduling and just working with all the member schools. So it's an enjoyable job. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of rewards. Like tonight, you get to come out and see games like tonight. So, but yeah, there's a lot behind the scenes that a lot of people don't get to see that goes on in terms of getting preparation, getting everything to like you see tonight. So, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, great. Now, being the commissioner of the newly formed Miami Valley League, I should say the newly old formed, I don't know how we actually say that, it's making a comeback. Heading into the first year, what are you excited about with the formation of the new league?
Well, I think what I'm excited about when we were going through this process was for things like tonight. I think with the Miami Valley League, there's a tremendous history, rich history, dating back to 1926. And tonight you're seeing schools that have been together for almost 100 years, 90 years that these schools have been playing each other in some way, shape, or form. And so what I'm excited about with the Miami Valley League is getting back to some of those roots, traditions, history, the communities, and that's really neat to see. When you look at the Sidneys, the Butlers, the Pickwoods, the Troys, up and down, and then you add in TIP and then the new Valley League that with Stebbins and Fairborn and West Carrollton. Obviously, we're really, really excited. Big things coming, so we're excited to get off the ground and get rolling here in August.
And in your discussions in forming the new league with the athletic directors, 10 teams, what was the decision behind going to 2 separate 5-team, I guess, divisions is what you would call them. What was the reasoning behind that? What does that offer the athletes?
Well, what it offers is it gives schools and teams a chance to feel that they can compete for team awards. Not necessarily the individuals, because the individual awards in the conference as a whole is going to be based on 10. But history will tell you over time, if schools feel they can't compete or have a chance to be on a level playing field, people start looking and things start to go different directions. So what this will do is allow 2 teams that they feel are in 2 divisions of demographics and capabilities and competition, allow us to recognize several teams in the league. And that's pretty common. That's commonplace. If you were to look in any professional sport, whether it be the NFL, they have divisions of 4, and so this is no different there, and it does offer the athletes and the teams a little bit of excitement and something to play for each year.
Absolutely. It's great. Now, being a football coach and everything, obviously the big talk transitioning to the new league is schedule. Can you talk about this first year with the schedule and what a transition schedule is, and why do we even need it going into this first year in football?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people ask me, what is a transition schedule? Basically what a transition schedule is exactly what it sounds like. It's something that is allowing us to transition from our current conference over to the new league. A lot of schools have contracts that are out 2-3 years, and you can't, from a financial position, break those contracts and immediately start with the new league schedule. Originally, this was going to be a 2-year process. So when the Miami Valley League schools gave notice, they were going to have to give 2 years notice and actually play through the conference for 2 years. Both sides had an amicable agreement that they would just, everybody would go their own ways. It was in the best interest of everybody involved. And given that was only a 1-year turnaround. So we did have some schools that already have contracts that are signed and could not get out of those. So we're going to have to play through those schedules, and that's going to be weeks 1, 2, and in some instances week 3. But going forward, we're going to have a 9-game schedule. And after this first year, we'll have a true 9-game league schedule.
With that 9-game league schedule in the coming years, I know that from afar there has been some fear of computer points and things like that. Is that something that was looked at in the formation of the league when you decided on a 9-game schedule versus possibly going to an 8 or a 7-game schedule? Or were we just trying to decide what was best for the schools and keeping those traditional rivalries in place?
Well, there was a lot of discussion around that topic. There are some that believe that a 9-game schedule will hinder or possibly damage your chances to get into the playoffs. But at the end of the day, if we looked at the history and we looked at the numbers, we looked at other 10-team leagues and conferences, and we just felt as a whole that a 9-game schedule was going to be in our best interest. We would obviously keep our points in-house, and we feel that each year going forward that we're going to have 2, 3, maybe on a good year 4 schools that could possibly get into the playoffs. So yes, much discussion about that, but we felt for the greater good and the best interest of the conference, this was the direction that we wanted to head.
Great. And our athletic director, Mr. Hoying, was telling me today he feels like our middle school kids, our athletes, are going to be huge benefactors in this new league. What are some kind of perks for the younger kids, especially here at Sidney, but for all schools at the junior high level with the creation of the new league?
Well, I think what you're going to see is the enrollment numbers are very similar from our number 1 school down to our number 10 school. And the way that they're set up right now in their current structure is they're competing against schools that are basically 3 times their size. So this is going to put them on a level playing field across the board. It's going to put them in a position where numbers will be more equitable, and the number of teams that they're going to field are going to be more equitable as well. Some of those trips that Sidney's accustomed to, going to some of what we refer to as the outlying schools in the current GWalk, those go away, and they'll be playing nothing but schools in the Miami Valley League. So I think you're going to find that the community is going to have that bond with their traditional ties that they've had since the 1926 Miami Valley League. And you're going to see that they've had some tradition and some history with some of those schools. The Stebbins, the West Carrolltons, the Fairborns, the Xenias. Believe it or not, Xenia was a charter member of the Miami Valley League. So, I think you're going to find that most of the communities are going to be satisfied with that, happy with that. And I know when we were going through the discussions of reviving the Miami Valley League, there were a lot of community members that were really happy with that outcome.
Absolutely. We got a minute left here before the second half starts. Last question, Mr. Spar. As the commissioner, of the Miami Valley League. What do you want the reputation of the league to be built upon?
Well, I think what I'm looking for is going to continue that history, that tradition, that community. The thing about the Miami Valley League and the schools that make up that league, I think you're going to find that the communities are very much involved in their high schools or public schools. And I want to see that tradition continue, and I want to see that history and that rich tradition continue. Like a game like tonight, that's what it's all about. The atmosphere here is incredible. The game has been great, and I think those are the things that I'm excited about and looking forward to going forward.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us. I'll let you watch the second half.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Mr. Eric Sparr, the new commissioner of the Miami Valley League, which will go. All right, Sparksy, we're ready for the second half here.
Of course I am.
Keys for the Jackets. What are you thinking here in the second half?
Well, obviously, don't let the Butler go on a run. Okay, but seriously,
That'd be nice.
Yeah, seriously though. But obviously, just keep playing aggressive. Obviously, if you see some open shots, hit them. And I mean, at the end of the game, end of the half, excuse me, they did let off Butler a little bit. But yeah, I think it should be a good half.
Both teams send out their starters. Andre Gordon with a double pump shot in the lane, no good. His tip is also no good. Rebound's going to come down to Wernz from Butler. Quickly up the floor, down the right side. Blocked by Roberts on the backside. Out of bounds. Nice block by Rotes Roberts, his first of the ball game. Thanks again to Mr. Sparr for joining us at halftime. He certainly didn't have to do that. We appreciate it. Ball goes into Ryan Johnson. Johnson working on Roberts. Spin move, left-handed hook shots, no good. Rebound to Keith Lee, his seventh.
Great start by Rotes.
Rotes Roberts setting the tone defensively for the Jackets. Andre Gordon brings it across half court. He'll give it to Keith Lee. Vandalia Butler starts this half in a 2-3 zone. There's a three ball. Josiah Hudgens. Josiah Hudgens with his first he now has 5 points as he had a runner in the lane in the first half. Jackets push the lead to 4. Big three by Josiah Hudgens. 25-21, it is the third quarter. I'll change that when I get a chance. Quentin Glover goes down the lane. Another block by Roberts, but we're going to get a foul. Foul's on Roberts. That is his second. We're going to send Glover to the line. Quentin Glover has 4 points on the ball game. Glover's a 72% free throw shooter, 0 of 1, now 0 of 2 on the ball game. Glover eyes the second free throw. No good off the back of the iron. Rebound into the hands of Rotes Roberts, and the Jackets have possession. Roberts gives it to Gordon. Gordon across half court. He's going to give it to Josiah Hudgens. Butler staying in their 2-3, kind of a matchup 2-3 zone. Wirtz and Montague up top. They'll get help from the baseline players on the wing passes, especially paying attention to Andre Gordon. Ball swung around on the baseline to Rotes Roberts. Going to be tipped out of bounds. Jackets with a 4-point lead. Darren Taborn will inbound on the side. Andre Gordon on senior night inbounding to Darren Taborn. Taborn working between the circles against the 2-3 zone defense. Rotes Roberts is going to pop out and get the ball between the circles. Pass fake sends Montague flying, but Roberts keeps it. And he'll give it to Josiah Hudgens, who gives it to Gordon. Gordon back to Hudgens. To Keith Lee. As the Jackets look to get an open shot against this zone defense, we're going to get a travel on Taborn. Jackets look a little confused there to start. Of course, the first possession didn't look confused. Josiah Hudgens nailed a long three.
Very long.
But zones have hurt the Jackets at times this year. Tyler Montague has it. He's working on Josiah Hudgens as he crosses half court, gives it to Brian Johnson inside to Glover at the foul line. Glover working on Keith Lee, kicks it out to Ryan Wirtz. Wirtz cut off by Gordon, gives it to Norman. Three ball, left side, good. Norman with the three ball to make it 25-24. Gordon looks to penetrate, but instead pulls out high on the right, gives it to Keith Lee. Gordon calls out a play. Gives it to Josiah Hudgens. He swings it to Keith Lee. Lee gives it back to Hudgens. So they play keep away out front. Ball swung on the left wing to Andre Gordon. Gordon goes into the short corner to Roberts. Back to Gordon. Thinks about a 3-ball from the corner. Instead is going to spin and will reset the offense for the Jackets. He works on Montague as we approach 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. A third quarter that has been a little bit of a slow start here. Long possessions on both sides of the floor. There's a kick out to Hudgens. Swings it on the left side to Gordon. Good ball movement by the Jackets. Gordon works on Johnson to the hole. Nice move by Andre Gordon.
Unbelievable.
Andre Gordon won't be denied. He now has 10 in double figures with Roberts, also with 10. Jackets lead by 3 now, 27-24. Ryan Wirtz with the ball at the volleyball line, nearly stolen by Gordon. Ball goes out of bounds. Official has a fist up. I think that's a foul. It is a foul. The foul's going to be on Darren Taborn. Evidently, he got a little bit of arm. That foul on Taborn is his third. So Dom Durr is going to check in for the Jackets, replacing Taborn, who is incredulous. You know what that word means?
Nope.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Oh, you finally got me with the word.
I got to be honest, I'm not even sure if I used it right, but my dad will let me know later. Ryan Wirtz throwing the ball in on the side. Speaking of family, I want to say hi to my son at home. I don't like to do shout-outs too often, but Ben cheering the Jackets on. He's one of the Jackets' biggest fans. Nice step-through move by Montague. No good. Rebound by Roberts.
Is that Bracket Man?
Yeah.
My little mini-me.
He likes to make brackets, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Just like me.
He's excited for the NCAA tournament. Ball swung in the left corner to Dom Durr. Now back out front to Josiah Hudgens. He'll give it to Keith Lee. Lee inside, the high post area to Gordon. Gordon, nice move to the hole. Plays it up and in. Andre Gordon with back-to-back buckets to push the Yellow Jacket lead to 5. It's 29-24.
A little up and under there.
Yeah, Gordon with 12 now. I'll tell you what, if they can get him the ball right there in that dead spot of the zone, that serves well for the Jackets. Lattez Roberts blocks or tips a shot by Norman. Keith Lee comes up with another rebound.
He is getting some boards tonight.
And we're going to get a foul on Butler on the ensuing possession. The foul's on Montague. That's his third. So now Montague and Glover with 3. Taborn with 3 for the Jackets. We are going to get a substitution. Cooper Justice is going to check in for Vandalia, number 5. He'll replace Montague, who sits down with those 3 fouls. Keith Lee inbounds to Josiah Hudgens. Hudgens crosses half court, gives it to Gordon. Gordon fakes a 3-ball from high on the left. Ball swung to Dom Durr. Gordon with it in the high post area again. Rises with a jump shot. No good. Rebound tipped by Brian Johnson. And here come the Aviators. Behind the back to Cooper Justice. To the hole. No good, but we're going to get a foul. Foul's on Dom Durr. That's his first. Yellow Jackets third. Cooper Justice will go to the line. He's a 68% free throw shooter. Cans the first. Justice off the bench averaging 6.5 points a game and just over 3 rebounds. Is now 16 of 23 on the year from the free throw line. Second free throw is also good by Justice. He has his first 2 points of the game, and Butler cuts the lead to 3, 29-26. Gordon working on Wirtz. Will pass it high on the left to Josiah Hudgens. Back to Gordon at the volleyball line. Gets a ball screen from Dom Durr. Nearly stolen by Brian Johnson. Pull up by Josiah Hudgens on the left side. No good. Rebound comes down on the backside to Braden Norman. He'll hand it off to Wirtz, who'll bring it up the floor for Butler. Butler looking to cut into the 3-point lead or possibly tie with a 3-ball. There is a 3-ball from the top of the key. Good by Braden Norman. Norman with 13 to lead all scorers right now. Big 3-ball, and we're all knotted up at 29. Josiah Hudgens and Keith Lee work the ball against this Vandalia Butler zone. Ball goes inside to Lattez Roberts, tipped, but ends up in the hands of Dom Durr. Andre Gordon hits a cutting Dom Durr, who lays it off the glass, around, no good, but we're going to get a foul. A foul on Butler is their second team foul. Foul's on Norman, his first. It's going to send Dom Durr to the line. Durr has 3 rebounds, but no points so far. On the year, he is 3 of 7 from the line. Now make that 4 of 8. So we'll call him a 50% free throw shooter. Dern, better known for his ball pressure on defense, but he can put the ball in the hoop as well. Makes 1 out of 2. So the Jackets regain the lead at 30-29. Ryan Wirtz working on Dom Durr, cross half court. Gets in the lane, will kick it out to Bryant Johnson. Johnson hands it off to Justice, all the way to the hole, blocked by Roberts, out of bounds.
My goodness.
Either his second or third block in this quarter, and that's all he has for the game, but that one was an emphatic one. 2:29 to go, Butler will inbound underneath their own basket. Cooper Justice will do the inbounding. They're in a 4-cross look. Wirtz comes off a double screen. Now we're going to get a pass over the top to Bryant Johnson. Johnson spinning in the lane, poked away by Lee, but he regains possession. Passes it out to Cooper Justice. Left side, another long 3-ball by Norman. Good. Boy, he's hot.
He is.
16 points. He's hit 3 3-balls here in the third quarter. A lot of them from deep, too. 32-30. Butler regains the lead as we approach 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Butler staying in that matchup zone defense. Andre Gordon swings it to Keith Lee. Now to Rottez Roberts in the short corner. Back out to Gordon. Gordon guarded by Wirtz in the zone. Swings it to Hudgens, to Durr, back to Hudgens. Gordon with a foot fake, gets in the lane, up and under and in. Andre Gordon.
Under again.
Some beautiful moves here in the third quarter, as he has 14 points, and it's knotted up at 32. There's a cutting Johnson, gets to the hole. He's going to be wrapped up by Rottez Roberts. That'll be a foul on the Jackets, and we'll see if Brian Johnson gets 2 free throws. He does. I think rightfully so. Brian Johnson's going to go to the line. The foul on Roberts is his 3rd. That's a developing story right there.
It is.
And Brian Johnson's going to go to the line, where he is a 47% free throw shooter on the year. Johnson's first free throws, around and out. Lathan Jones going to check in for the Jackets as he replaces Roberts. Brian Johnson, 2 points, several blocks, and has been all over the place on the defensive side of the ball. Misses 2 free throws though. Rebound by Glover. His putback's no good. Rebounded, cleaned up by Andre Gordon. Gordon pressured in the backcourt. Now that pressure falls back into the 2-3 zone defense. We'll pass it on the left side to start the offense to Josiah Hudgens. Keith Lee gives it back to Hudgens, back to Gordon on the left wing. Jackets looking to cut into the soft areas of the zone. Dom Durr has it. He penetrates, kicks to Hudgens. Hudgens will go to Keith Lee on the right side. Now swing it into the corner to Durr, back to Lee, to Hudgens. 3-ball, top of the key, no good. Off the back of the iron, rebound cleaned up in the corner by Bryant Johnson. Johnson will hand it off to Ryan Wirtz as he comes across half court. We're all knotted up at 32. A fast-moving third quarter. A couple of fouls, but not many stoppages. Wirtz has it. He'll give it high on the right to Cooper Justice, who goes to the top of the key to Glover. Backdoor cut. Norman lays it up and in. A little bit of a Princeton type of offense there. Gives Butler a 34-32 lead as the Jackets probably look to hold it for the last shot. Coach Willoughby calls out the last set that the Jackets will probably look to start running here around 10 seconds. Gordon will pass it to Hudgens. Give it back to Gordon. He'll go to the high post area to Lathan Jones. His turnaround shot is no good. Rebound cleaned up by Ryan Wirtz. Wirtz with 4 seconds left. Dribbles across half court, nearly stolen. Now it is stolen by Durr. His desperation shot goes off the stanchion behind the backboard, and that'll end the third quarter. Yellow Jackets go into the third quarter ahead, but come out behind. 34-32 is Butler's lead by 2. We'll be back for the fourth quarter in just a moment. Well, Andre Gordon made some nice moves against that zone for the offense for the Jackets, but the concern, obviously, Roberts and Taborn each with 3 fouls.
That's a big one.
Taborn and Roberts will both check back out to start the fourth quarter. They'll be joined by Trey Wernz, Lathan Jones, and Andre Gordon. For Butler, they will send out Justice, Wirtz, Johnson, Norman, and Glover. How about that third quarter by Norman?
That was
Wow.
pretty amazing.
He hit some deep threes and really controlled things. And, of course, that layup on the back cut there at the end. There's a steal by Lathan Jones. Jones to the hole, lays it up, and
Way to start on the court.
big play by Lathan Jones. That pulls the Jackets even, 34-34. Wirtz has it on the left point. He'll be guarded by Taborn, who has the mentioned 3 fouls. Wirtz gets to the hole over the hands of Ratez Roberts, and on the rebound, Quentin Glover is going to be fouled by Lathan Jones. The foul on Lathan Jones is the Yellow Jackets' 5th, his 2nd. 30 seconds into the fourth quarter, we're all knotted up at 34. We got an all-time high in viewership. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Hopefully everything looks okay and sounds okay. There's an inbounds pass to Glover, who knifes to the hole. He's going to be fouled, and just like Butler got in foul trouble in the first half, now the Yellow Jackets got 16 fouls, and Quentin Glover's going to the line. Glover's been to the line a couple times tonight. He's a 72% free throw shooter coming in. The 6'4" senior is averaging 5.8 points per game and 4 rebounds. Fantastic football player as well. His free throw is no good off the side of the iron. The Jackets, for the moment, remain tied. Glover's second free throw rattles around and in. That gives Butler a 1-point lead, 35-34. Andre Gordon has it, gives it to Trey Wernz, to Ratez Roberts. The Jacket bench coming up big here in the fourth quarter. Lathan Jones with the bucket. Trey Wernz with a big 3. And the Jackets pull back ahead by 2. There's a backdoor cut by Justice from Johnson. He gets it over to Quentin Glover, swatted away by Swatez Roberts. Butler regains possession, but a huge play by Ratez Roberts to erase the layup attempt. There's a nice pass by Johnson to Glover. Glover with showing great patience. Pump fakes, lays it up and in against Roberts, and we're all knotted up again at 37. Roberts has it high on the left, gives it to Darren Taborn. Trey Wernz will give it between the circles to Andre Gordon. Ratez Roberts has it at the elbow, gives it to Taborn. 3-ball, left point, no good off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Lathan Jones. He lays it up, no good on the layup, gets his own rebound. Tries to go up again, ball is knocked into the hands of Andre Gordon. Gordon drives baseline, reverse layup, no good, gets his own rebound. Gordon powers back up and in.
He was not going to get denied there.
Andre Gordon, as Sparksy says, refuses to be denied, and the Yellow Jackets pull back ahead by 2. Ryan Wirtz has the ball, working on Taborn, gives it to Glover. Glover has it high on the right, gives it to Brian Johnson. Johnson will dribble back between the circles as the Yellow Jackets and the Aviator fans all going nuts here. Conference title on the line. 2-point game by Trey Wernz. He's bumped and fouled. Trey Wernz, big minutes, a big 3-ball. Nice steals, nice blocks. And Sparksy's getting a little excited.
Yes, I am.
Make sure you keep that camera on again.
It's good.
Tyler Motzke going to check back in. He had 3 fouls. He'll replace Cooper Justice. On the floor for the Jackets right now. Gordon, Jones, Wernz, Roberts, and Taborn. Gordon with 16 points to lead Sidney. Ball swung around, gets it into Ratez Roberts in the high post area. Butler staying in this zone. Ball swung to Wernz, 3-ball, right side, no good short. Good box outs by Butler, and they come up with a rebound in the form of Braden Norman. Montague working on Gordon, gets around him on the sideline, kicks it out to Norman, thinks about a 3-ball. Taborn quickly closes out. There's a long three ball by Montague. No good. Wernz battles for the rebound and tips it over to Taborn. Nice job by Trey Wernz again. Taborn to the hole. No good on the layup. Rebound cleaned up by Bryant Johnson. Jackets with a missed opportunity there. They still lead by 2, 39-37. Ryan Wirtz has it. Nearly stolen by Taborn out front, but also nearly fouled by Taborn. He has 3 fouls. Johnson's going to swing it down into the corner to Wirtz. Wirtz working on Andre Gordon. Jackets in their customary man-to-man defense. 4:30 to go in the game. As we expected, leading by 2. How we got here, though, was a bit unexpected.
Yeah, very unexpected.
Butler starts the game on a 15-0 run before the Jackets answer with a 17-0 run of their own.
You would never really see that by either team.
It's amazing. Ryan Johnson has it, high on the left. He gives it to Wirtz, who has it at the volleyball line. Ryan Wirtz gives it in the high post area to Glover. Glover working on Lathan Jones. Will drive right around Jones. His layup's no good, though. Cleaned up by Ratez Roberts. Got a message from Audie Elmore. Of course, he's in the broadcast realm working for 700 WLW. Thanks for tuning in, Audie. Of course, a SHS TV Productions legend. There's a pass underneath to Lathan Jones. His layup is no good. Cleaned up by Glover from Butler. Jackets with another missed opportunity. Montague brings the ball across half court. Halfway through the 4th quarter. This is what we expected. 2-point game. Jackets in the lead at the moment. Wirtz has it. Nobody's guarding him. Top of the key 3 ball. No good short. Jackets get lucky. Andre Gordon cleans up the rebound. Gordon will bring it across half court. He looks straight into the eyes of Montague and Wirtz, who have 4 eyes on him at the top of this 2-3 zone defense. Gordon will give it to Taborn on the left side. He's going to get a ball screen from Jones. Goes underneath to Roberts. Roberts is undercut by Glover, and Butler comes away with the steal. Glover quickly up the floor to Johnson. Johnson working on Jones, up and under. No good, but there's going to be a foul on Lathan Jones. The foul on Lathan is his 3rd. That'll be the Yellow Jackets' 7th. 2 shots anyway for Bryant Johnson, but from here on out, Butler is going to be shooting a 1 and bonus at minimum.
Johnson will go to the line, 2-2.
Brian Johnson with 2 points, a 47% free throw shooter on the year. 0 of 2 on the night, cans that one. Now 1 of 3 to pull Butler within 1, 39-38. Johnson, 2nd free throw, ties the game up. Big free throws by Bryant Johnson.
Very big.
Traditionally not a great free throw shooter, but knocks down 2 big ones right there as we go under 3 minutes to go, tied up at 39. Gordon hands it off to Taborn. Taborn reached in by Montague. Taborn got hit in the face, but the Jackets kept possession. Gordon probing into the lane, kicks it to Wernz, thinks about a 3-ball instead, gives it to Roberts. Roberts has it out between the circles, gives it to Andre Gordon on the right wing. 2.5 to go. Gordon pull up, 15-footer, no good off the back of the iron, tipped by Wernz into the hands of Darren Taborn, and the Jackets keep the ball. Another big play by Trey Wernz. Gordon drives. His jumper is no good, but he gets a rebound, tips it out to Wernz. 3-ball, no good, long rebound cleaned up by Glover on the backside. Couple chances there for the Jackets. 2 good looks for Andre and a good look for Trey Wernz, but Butler cleans up the rebound, and they'll bring it across half court as we approach 2 minutes to go in the game. This ball nearly stolen by Gordon, recovered by Braden Norman. Norman kicks it to Wernz, 3-ball, left wing, got it. Vandalia Butler goes back on top, 42-39. The Jackets try for the steal, don't get it, and Butler makes them pay. We're going to get a timeout by the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets will have 2 timeouts remaining. They're going to get Keith Lee and Josiah Hudgens in the ball game. We've got 1:44 left. Jackets trail by 3. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here at Sidney High School, 1:44 remaining in the game. Jackets trail by 3. Have led much of the second half, although considering how the game started, Sparksy, if I'd have told you one possession, us with the ball, 1:44 to go, you'd have taken it, right?
Yeah, I take it every day.
Of course, Butler has been without Michael Cryle throughout the entire ball game. It'll be the Yellow Jackets ball. They have their starters on the floor, 4 seniors and the junior Darren Taborn. Butler will send out Bryant Johnson, Montague, Wirtz, Glover, and Norman. There's a near steal on the inbounds pass by Bryant Johnson. Don't get lazy around him. He is athletic and he can steal it at any point. Gordon has 16 points to lead the Jackets. Norman has 18 to lead Butler. Andre Gordon working on Bryant Johnson. He's going to be fouled by Johnson. No harm done there, as it is only Johnson's second foul and only Butler's fourth. In fact, they might want to get a little bit closer to the 1-and-1 for later in the game, so maybe that was even planned. Ball goes to Keith Lee. Lee is going to give it cross court to Josiah Hutchins. Looks like a box and one from Butler here. Taborn with a nice pass to Keith Lee. His layup's no good. Rebound tipped around, battled for, and cleaned up by Norman. Norman has it. He'll give it off to Ryan Wirtz. Butler has the ball and control, leading by 3. Just over a minute to go. Tyler Montague working on Josiah Hutchins. 1:08. Hutchins getting closer. Butler in their four-corner type of offense, spreading the Jackets out. Bryant Johnson gets the ball. Of course, percentage-wise, Johnson would be the one to foul, although he just hit 2 of them. Glover is going to be fouled. Glover's a 72% free throw shooter, but he's missed a couple tonight.
He has missed a couple.
Keith Lee picks up the foul. That's his first. The teammate, so it is a 1-and-1. Glover has 7 points. He's been a force on both ends. Looking to put Vandalia ahead by 2 possessions with 51 seconds remaining. Glover's free throw is good. Of course, in the first game, earlier this year, Vandalia missed a couple of free throws to let the Jackets back in. But that's a big one right there by Glover.
Very big.
As he eyes the second one. Of course, they're all big at this point. Glover's second free throw. This one's no good. Rebounded by Roberts. Roberts gives it to Andre Gordon. Quickly up the floor. Gordon weaving in and out of traffic. Kicks it to Hutchins in the corner. Hutchins thinks about a 3-ball. Instead picks up his dribble. Gives it into Roberts. Roberts with 2 guarding him. Gives it to Gordon. 3-ball. Left wing. No good off the back of the iron. Ball's tipped out of bounds. Off of Hutchins and over to Butler. Jackets trail by 4, 34 seconds remaining. Braden Norman will inbound as the Jackets go in a full court man-to-man denial. Probably looking to trap or foul quickly. Wirtz has it. He gives it to Norman. Norman guarded by Darren Taborn. Norman weaves in and out of traffic, gets across half court, gets it over to Wirtz. The Jackets trying to foul. No call. Ball goes over to Johnson, and now they'll foul Johnson. And Bryant Johnson, the 46% free throw shooter, is going to go to the line. The foul's on Rotez Roberts, his 4th. Another 1-and-1, 21 seconds remaining. Johnson just hit 2 free throws not too long ago. Trey Wirtz is going to check in for the Jackets, replacing Josiah Hutchins. Johnson taking a free throw, 1-on-1 free throw, leading by 4, and he cans it. Big shot by the senior. That pushes the lead to 5. As Butler makes both of their front ends of their 1-and-1s here in the 4th quarter. Johnson's second free throw is also good. 6-point game. Rotez Roberts gives it to Trey Wirtz. Wirtz, cross-court pass to Taborn. Taborn, pull-up 3-ball, right side is short. Rebound on the backside by Keith Lee. Ball goes out of his hands into the hands of Ryan Wirtz. Montague's going to bring the ball across half court. He'll go to the hole, lay it up and in. And that puts the proverbial nail in the coffin. Taborn on the other end will lay it up and in for the Jackets, but the game is over. The Jackets lose by 6, and Butler is in control and has clinched a share of the GWAC North. Well, Sparksy, not how we wanted it to finish, as Butler gets the win. But give him credit, right?
Yeah,
they played a great game. Butler came out of the gate, stormed. What do you think were the keys to Butler's victory tonight?
Well, obviously that beginning run, obviously that gave them a lot of energy. Even though when we came back, they knew what they were capable of doing, and they did it the whole entire game, and they never stopped, and that's what gave them the win.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Vandalia Butler on a hard-fought victory. Of course, the season not over for the Jackets. Still plenty to play for. They'll go down to Greenville. And the Jackets will hope for a little bit of help to get back to a share of the title. But Vandalia Butler in firm control of the G-Walk North after this 47-41 victory. We'll look at a couple of stats. Rontez Roberts on senior night had 10 points and 6 boards for the Jackets. These are unofficial stats, by the way. Darren Taborn added 2 points and 4 rebounds for the Jackets. Keith Lee really played a nice floor game for the Jackets tonight. Had 2 points but 8 big rebounds to really help the Jackets in that first half when they were really struggling. Andre Gordon on senior night finishes with 16 points, 6 boards, and 3 assists unofficially. And Josiah Hudgens also on senior night has 5 points to go along with 4 rebounds. Vandalia Butler led in scoring by Norman with 18. Also got 9 from Wirtz, 8 from Glover, and some big free throws, and I thought played a fantastic game by Bryant Johnson, providing a lot of pressure on Andre Gordon. Just overall, obviously a disappointing game for the Jackets, but I'm also, Sparksy, pretty proud of the Jackets for fighting back after being down.
I was very, very proud of them. Some you don't see, especially with Butler, you don't see people come back like that.
Absolutely. So one goal is probably lost for the Jackets, but there are still other goals out there of getting the most wins in school history, hopefully playing for a sectional title at some point. But the Jackets will have to shake this one off, as it's a tough defeat in front of a great crowd, a great atmosphere, as Butler wins 47-41. Once again, I'm Greg Snyder from SHS TV Productions, along with Caleb Sparks. Also got Jacob Everingham helping out tonight. A tough one for the Jackets. They fall by 6. Thanks everybody for watching us this year. This is probably our last broadcast, with the rest of the games being on the road. We will look to expand in the future. I really like the way the graphics played out here in the last couple of games. We'll try to make those a little bit better. We'll try to give you even more in terms of camera angles in the future, and also obviously the important thing of trying to figure out how to take this show on the road. But above all, we thank everybody for listening. Please continue to watch. We'll be covering some board meetings. We'll be covering some spring sports. We'll be covering some concerts, some Hall of Honor type of stuff, and also graduation. We plan to at least stream that live as well at the end of the year. So once again, for the last time this year, this is Greg Snyder from SHS TV Productions, along with Sparksy. Any last words, Sparksy?
Just thank you for the ride. I appreciate all the support, and I appreciate all the kind words we've gotten.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. This is SHS TV Productions saying good night, everybody. Be safe.